All right, folks, so settle in because coming up next, it is Fathead's Eyewear qualifying. NOS Energy Drink is the title sponsor of the USAC Midget National Championship. You are a machine with 800 horses coursing through your veins. Fuel up, fire up, and never look back. Live fast. Drink NOS with Complex 6 for high-performance energy and enhanced mental focus. Visit drinknos.com for a retailer near you and follow us on social media at NOS Energy Drink. AMSOIL is the title sponsor of the USAC Sprint Car National Championship. Why choose AMSOIL synthetic lubricants? AMSOIL delivers next-level power, performance, and protection. Built in the lab so you can feel it on the road. Run with us. Visit the AMSOIL booth or order from AMSOIL.com. Hoosier Racing Tire is the official tire of the United States Auto Club. For more information on the tires designed for champions, contact Hoosier Tire online at HoosierTire.com. FloRacing is the official video partner of the United States Auto Club, where you can catch every national event live and on demand throughout the 2021 season. Speaking of live content and on-demand action, it is time for Fathead's Eyewear qualifying here at Port City. First driver out on track, it's going to be the 5H out of Westwood, Kansas, driving for Casey Hicks with Organic Warehouse Extreme Color and Spray Tan Gunslinger on the side of his spike. Here is Casey Hicks in the 5H. Hicks working around turns 3 and 4 to lay down. Lap number 2, 10.386. And man, you look up and you've already missed a car here. They are moving that fast around this place. So Casey Hicks with a 10.386. Remember, the track record here is a 9.398. That was laid down by Cannon McIntosh 1 year ago. We move on here in Fathead's Eyewear qualifying. This time it is the 17B of Austin Barnhill out of Wilmington, North Carolina. Barnhill driving for Sam Johnson Racing. Oh, no, I apologize. We've got the 17X of Kurt Stellhorn. So Stellhorn out on track. Stellhorn's first lap, a 10.902. Stellhorn working way up top on this one here. See if he can improve, and he does. He gets down to a 10.635, but it is not enough to jump up in front of Casey Hicks. Next driver out on track here. That is going to be the 91T of Tyler Thomas. Thomas from Collinsville, Oklahoma, driving for TTM with BT Machine Air Group Mobile 1. On the side of his spike with a Speedway Toyota underneath it. Thomas, no surprise here, goes to the top of the charts, 9.639 seconds. Thomas wheeling and dealing off of 4, 9.684. He actually slows down on lap number 2. Didn't expect that, but Thomas to the top here early on in Fathead's Eyewear qualifying. Next driver on the track will be the 7U out of Kennendale, Texas, driving for Trifecta Motorsports with PDI Pipeline Equipment Solutions and Flurry Racing Stables on the side of his Stanton SR11X powered spike chassis. Here is the 7U of Kyle Jones. Jones's first lap in the books, 9.833. Lap number 2, does he improve? He does, to a 9.723. That's good enough for second behind Tyler Thomas and in front of Casey Hicks. Next car on track, you're not going to miss this one. It is the bright number 25K out of Bixby, Oklahoma, driving for Dave Mack Motorsports, Buzz Balls Cocktails, and Drive WFX on the side of the Speedway Toyota powered spike chassis. Miss Taylor Reimer, she certainly knows her way around Port City Raceway. 30 feature victories in the 600cc micro sprints. She does a 9.927. That's good enough for third quick here in Fathead's Eyewear qualifying. Now we get back on track. Here is the 17B, originally scheduled to go out in the 2-hole from Wilmington, North Carolina for Sam Johnson Racing with Kokomo Joe Simpson and Z-Max on the side of his Stanton SR11 Bullet by Spike. Here is Austin Barnhill. Barnhill's first lap at 10.59, good enough for fifth quick. We'll see if he can improve here, and he does. Barnhill jumps from 5th up to 4th thanks to a 10 flat on lap number 2. On track now, driving the number 19 for Hayward Motorsports with B&H Contractors, Stanton Racing Engines, Bird, and FK on the side of his Stanton SR11X powered spike chassis from Pipersville, Pennsylvania, Brian Carver. Carver picking up the victory last fall in the Keith Coons Give Back Classic at Millbridge Speedway down in North Carolina. Got the chance to go run the Chili Bowl with KKM and made the most out of it here in qualifying. Carver not looking bad, a 9.87 seconds. Right there, that puts him up to third. Out on track now in the number 35 for Petrie Motorsports out of Galloway, Ohio. Here is Jacob Denny. Denny getting a little bit of wheels up on the entry to turn 3. Denny's second lap improves a 9.732. Denny now up to third quick here. One driver, a lot of guys in the pit area picked, and we asked them about their Dirt Draft fantasy picks right here in the 2J, a new pairing. This driver and RMS Racing, NOS Energy Drink, EnviroFab, responsive management service on the side of his Spike chassis. The Speedway Toyota underneath the hood from Ione, California. It's JG Justin Grant. Lap number 1 for Grant was a 9.8, and he's going to go to the top here. 9.607. JG Justin Grant getting it done. He goes to the top provisionally here in Fathead's eyewear qualifying. Home state driver right here. No, he's not. Out of Pengrove, California in the number 67. For Keith Coons, Curb Agajanian Motorsports with Mobile One, TRD, and IWX on the side. That's Bullet by Spike with a Speedway Toyota underneath the hood. Here is Buddy Kofoid in the number 67. And Kofoid, by the time you look up, he's already grabbed the top spot. JG falls down to second. Buddy Kofoid, your quickest driver, out on track. From Broken Arrow, Oklahoma in the 21K for Team Ripper, Emilio Hoover out on track. Lap number 1 for Hoover at 10.021. He's going to work on improving it here. And I swear they had a fan blown when they took that headshot picture of Hoover. Cheesing. Let's see if he's smiling when this one's done. He should be, because Hoover picks up even more speed to put the 21K 6th on the board. Hoover, a 9.829. Rolling along here, number 97 out of the great state of Texas. From Lubbock, here is Brenham Crouch driving that number 97 for Keith Coons, Curb Agajanian Motorsports. Speedway Toyota underneath the hood of his Bullet by Spike chassis. The very young Brenham Crouch looking good, 9.5 on lap number 1. Slows it down to a 9.7 on lap number 2. But that's good enough for the outside of the front row provisionally before the invert, of course. But good lap there for Brenham Crouch. Moving on down the line, here comes from Petrie Motorsports, the number 15 from Franklin, Indiana, Emerson Axon going to work here at Fathead's eyewear qualifying. Looking down the board, Axon's first lap, 9.632. Can he pick it up here? Yes, he does, and he goes all the way to the top. 9.508 for Emerson Axon. He said if you want to do good tonight, you're going to have to be a bit of the bad guy. Well, I don't know. He's just being the fast guy right now. He's not really being the bad guy. Great lap for the 15 of Emerson Axon. Moving on down the line here, the 24T on track from Springdale, Arkansas, driving for Glenn Brody with Brody Plumbing, BK Machine Injection Services on the side of his S-Slinger powered Spike chassis. Here's the 24T of Glenn Brody, lap number 2. Or does that put Brody? It's a 10.86, so they've got work to do there. Brody in the 14th position. Up next on track, the 91K from Bixby, Oklahoma, driving for Kenny and Kevin Bayer. It is the 91K of Kevin Bayer. Kevin's first lap here, looking for it, 10.036. That doesn't even put him in the top 10, but this lap should be better for Kevin Bayer. It is better, but unfortunately it's not enough to crack the top 10. Good looking laps there for Kevin Bayer. He sits 11th provisionally. Next car out on track, can't miss him. The 7X from RMS, your most recent winner in the NOS Energy Drink National Midget Tour. It is the one, the only T-Mez, Thomas Meserol. Lap number 1 good, a 9.565. That puts him third quick. How about it? Lap number 2, even better. Meserol to the top of the charts here in Fathead's eyewear qualifying. Put it down, 9.474. He is clear of Emerson Axum by 3/100ths of a second. Meserol letting everyone know that old guys can still be fast. I think that's what he said in victory lane to Christy Bemis. Next up on track out of Gilbert, Arizona, driving the number 19 AZ for Reinbold, Underwood Motorsports, AME Electrical, Mesilla Valley Transportation on the side. Young Hayden Reinbold. Hayden's laps, a 9.750. He went quicker on lap number 2. That's good enough for 9th here in Fathead's eyewear qualifying. Next car on track is going to be the number 17, sticking with the Oklahoma connection here, from Bixby, driving for Berry Hill Racing. This is Tanner Berryhill. Berryhill's first lap was a 9.754. What's he got for him here on lap number 2? Jumps all the way up to 7th with a 9.641. Great lap by Tanner Berryhill. Bryant Wiedemann Chasing Rookie of the Year points, one of many, from Colby, Kansas, driving for Keith Coons, Curb, Agajanian Motorsport, Toyota JBL TRD, and IWX on the side of his Speedway Toyota-powered Bullet by Spike. The 0-1 a Wiedemann. Lap number 1, a 9.7. That keeps him out of the top 10. Lap number 2 is a 9.86, so he will stay in 11th, right behind Hayden Reinberg. On track now, the 8J, Jonathan Beeson from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, driving for Hard 8 Racing, Hamilton Home Loans on the side of his Spike chassis with a Speedway Toyota underneath the hood. Beeson in the 8J, lap number 1. Where does that put him? 7th quick, 9.640. Lap number 2, he improves up to 6th with a 9.61. And going from 7th to 6th might not sound like a lot, but every position is going to matter here in qualifying. On track now, the number 25 from Sutter, California, driving for Tom Malloy with Trent Shoring, Rodella Specialty Fabrication, and King on the side, on the side of his Ed Pink Toyota powered King chassis. Here is Logan Seavey in the number 25. Seavey with a ripper on lap number 3. Good for 3rd. Seavey up to 9.545. That puts him 3rd, right behind Axelman in front of the 67 of Buddy Kofoid. So good look in there for the Sutter, California driver, Logan Seavey. Rolling on next here. The 4F of Chad Freewalt. Lap number 1 put him in 19th. Lap number 2 is going to keep him there at 10.223 on lap number 2. Chad in the 4F. Up next here, one driver that you feel like should be from Oklahoma with all the racing he does here, but in fact it is the 49. Joe B. Miller. Joe B. racing out of Millersville, Missouri with Chris Lewis, Lewis Trucking, and Precision Plating on the side of his Spike chassis. Speedway Toyota underneath the hood. And Joe B. Miller's 2nd lap here. We're going to check in and see exactly where that put him. Up to 10th, so a really solid lap for Miller there as we work deeper and deeper here into Fathead's eyewear qualifying. The 3PS from Pryor, Oklahoma, driving for Hunt Brothers. 3Ps next level medal on the side. It's Zach Milliken. Milliken in the 3PS going to work here. Lap number 1 at 10.422. How about it on lap number 2? He's going to improve a 10.3. That gets him up to 21st quick here. So far, 24 cars take time in qualifying. Dason Pursley looked really solid back in Ocala, Florida for the opening 2 rounds of the NOS Energy Drink National Midget Championship. Let's see what he can do here back home in Oklahoma. He's from Locust Grove, and he drives for Keith Coons, Curb, Agajanian Motorsports. He's got a Speedway Toyota underneath the hood of his Bullet by Spike. Pursley on lap number 2 picks up a lot of time, and that takes him from outside the top 10 to 8th, a 9.62. Pursley, again, a lap of 9.6, puts him up to 8th. KTJ Kevin Thomas Jr. was sitting pretty, getting ready to transfer into the feature on night number 1 before engine troubles kept him out from the opening round of the season. Ever since then, he has been on a roll. KTJ in the number 5 for Petrie Motorsports. Lap number 2 is a 9.596. That puts him up to 6th in the number 5. Again, KTJ for Petrie Motorsports. This one driver that everyone in the pit area knows is going to be a threat here tonight. In the number 4, out of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma for Robert Dalby Motorsports, here is J-Mac. Jason McDougal, lap number 1, a 9.5. That puts him up to 5th. Lap number 2, works right through the middle of 3 and 4, off the final corner. Can he improve? Yes, he does, but it is not enough to move him out of the 5th spot. McDougal, a 9.564. So J-Mac stays right there in the 5th position. Next up on track, the 7F MF from Coweta, Oklahoma, driving for Blaine Morton with Morton Excavating and Eastside Septic on the side of his Bullet with an S-Slinger underneath the hood. Here is Chance Morton. Chance not making the trip to drive in Ocala. He was there, but didn't get behind the wheel. Morton's 2nd lap, a 9.997. He improves on lap number 2. That puts him 21st quick here. Not a lot of cars left to go. The 21 KS for Team Ripper. Trey Gropp out of Lincoln, Nebraska. Got the Stanton SR11X wound up aboard the Ripper chassis. Gropp's first lap here at 10.109. Great shot right there as he goes to work through 3 and 4. What's got for him here? Can he improve? Yes, he does. Leapfrogs 2 spots and gets up to 22nd on the 21KS, so drop P22. Now on track, the 14H for MSW, Motorsports J. Mounson's group. Here is from Red Bluff, California, Jesse Caldwell. Caldwell, lap number 1, a 9.821. Lap number 2 improves, 9.794, but he's going to stay right back there in the 18th position. His teammate, the 00, the Oklahoma Cowboy, Ace McCarthy. I think they call him the Oklahoma Cowboy because he's from Oklahoma and he always has a cowboy hat on. Did not like that run through 3 at all. Lap number 1, a 10.145 second. Watch for him to go down a little bit lower, I think, on corner entry here. No, he stays up high, and he makes it work. McCarthy, a 10.1 first time by, picks it up big time to a 9.7. McCarthy jumps up to 17th quick. Good lap for the Oklahoma Cowboy, Ace McCarthy right there. Next to qualify, the 72J from St. Peters, Missouri, driving for Sam Johnson Racing. Kokomo Joe's all over the side of that bullet by Spike with a Stanton Toyota wound up. Here is Sam Johnson. Johnson not fooling around here tonight, 6th quick, 9.600. Johnson getting it done. Here he comes, screaming and kicking. Thanks to Bush's Chicken, it's the 19A. Out of Waco, Texas, Chase Randall. Randall, lap number 1, a 9.677. Looks good here as he rolls through 3 and 4, keeping it up high. Sprays him with a little bit of clay. Lap number 2, 9.733. Randall stays in the 15th position. Oliver Akert from Fort Myers, Florida, in the 41, out on track to take time here in Fathead's eyewear qualifying. He will be the 34th car to take time, and we still have just a few more to go. Actually, we got a lot more to go, so don't go anywhere. This is the 34th car, 47 drivers entered. Lap number 1 for Akert, good. Lap number 2, even better. A 10 flat puts Akert up to 28th. The all-white, number 19T from Ryan Bolt, Underwood Motorsports, driven by the pride of Minden, Nevada. Here he is. One of a couple double T's we've got in the field. Tanner Thorson, you got Tanner Thorson, you got Tyler Thomas. There's a lot of T's out on track here. Thorson bringing the all-white to the dirt track. He feels good about it. It looks good. 12th quick first time by, 6th quick the second time by. Thorson, a 9.568, puts the 19T up to 6. Good lap for Thorson. He'll take it to the scales here. Rolling right along, the 47K. Here is Kevin Brewer. Brewer aboard that 47K out of Owasso, Oklahoma for Walrus Racing and Brewer Motorsports. Lightning J Ranch and Speedy Gonzalez Mexican Cantina on the side of his Stealth chassis. The 47K, lap number 2, 10.292. That puts him 32nd out of the 36 that have taken time. On track now, the number 84 from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, driving for Chad Boat Industries. Here is Ryan Tim. Tim's in for tonight, said they might go chase a winged race. I think they said maybe out in Burlington tomorrow night, depending on what the weather does here. Tim's lap number 2, a 9.838. That puts him 24th on the board. Next on track, the second half of the Morton experience here. Cade Morton was down with us in Ocala, Florida. From Coweta, Oklahoma. Shout out to Lonnie Wheatley for getting the pronunciations correct for the Morton family. Cade working off a turn number 4 here. Lap number 2 is a 10.284. 33rd quick, man. There's a lot of cars, there's a lot of drivers, and it is a stout field. Speaking of tough competition, here he is, your reigning NOS Energy Drink National Midget Series champion. Last year, he got the championship, which gave him the USAC Triple Crown, the number 89 Big Daddy, Chris Wyndham. Lap number 1. First time out, put him 16th on the board. Lap number 2 puts him 7th. Got a big wheel stand coming out of turn number 4. Got on the loud pedal, and that threw him all the way up to 7th quick. Good lap for Chris Wyndham. Next driver to roll out here in Fathead's eyewear qualifying should be the 32 from Newcastle, Oklahoma, driving for Trey Markham. Here is Trey Markham. Let's see, lap number 2, a 9.762 Markham. That puts him 21st on the board. Now the number 3N out of New Berlin, Illinois, driving for Jim Newman. This is Jake Newman. Jake coming off a big victory here just 2 weeks ago during the Turnpike Challenge. He is a threat every time Midgets hit the track anywhere you go. 1 lap in the books puts him 18th. How about lap number 2? What does he got? He's not able to move out of the 18th position. So Jake Newman puts it down 9.926. Here is the 19M. This was the driver who was quickest when practice concluded last night in the 19M from Mooresville, North Carolina, Ethan Mitchell. Lap number 1, a 9.784, and that sounds fast. It is. It's 25th quick so far. Lap number 2 out of the final corner. He's going to improve quite a few spots. It puts him 18th thanks to a lap of 9.704. Again, first lap was a 9.78. Lap number 2, a 9.704. Incredibly tight between just Ethan Mitchell's first and his second lap, and that shows you just how tight the field is. Look how tight they're parked down there. T-Mez is happy. You know why? Because he is on top here in Fathead's Eyewear qualifying, 9.474. He's got a few cars left to sweat it out here, and this could be someone that really might give him some trouble. The 08 driving for Dave Mack Motorsports from Bixby, Oklahoma, Cannon McIntosh. 25 feature victories here in the 600cc micro sprint categories. Cannon McIntosh's second lap, a 9.695. That is good enough for 18th quick. And it is tight, man, here. Everybody is all over each other. On track now, the number 8 from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, driving for Andy Sewell. Action Auto Collision on the side. It's Alex Sewell. Sewell said he didn't feel good about the car yesterday. He's 28th quick after lap number 1. Hopefully he feels a little bit better after lap number 2. He jumps 11 spots to 17th. So Sewell finding something in that car that they didn't have yesterday. Seriously, we walked around, we asked him to build their Dirt Draft fantasy lineup, and Sewell said he wouldn't pick himself even if he was fast. T-Mez talking it over. 44 cars have taken time here so far. Only 3 left to go. Here we go with the 05 from Jenks, Oklahoma, Jay Wilson Construction, who he drives for. JetToken.com, the lightning supply outlet, and Penny Dozer on the side of the Spike chassis. Here is Kyle Wilson. Lap number 1 for Wilson, a 10.298, and he's only going to take 1 lap. Okay. So he didn't get out and push the time, so they're only going to give him 1 lap here. 46 cars. Here it comes, car number 46. It's the 10X of Curtis Jones. Jones out of Sand Springs, Oklahoma, driving for Curtis Jones Motorsports. And it looks like only 1 lap there as well, 44 quick. And this should be our final timed car here at Fathead's Eyewear qualifying. It is the 20H out of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, driving for Jimmy Harris. Here is Noah Harris. Noah Harris, 1 and done. 10.048. Nobody had anything for the 7X. Man, when you're good, you're good. He comes off a win at the last race in Ocala, Florida, round number 2. And T-Mez, Thomas Meserol, is $100 richer and a whole lot happier after securing the Fathead's Eyewear quick time of the night here at Port City Raceway. You can see him making his way to Christy Bemis. There's the qualifying results. Emerson Axum was 2nd, Logan Seavey 3rd, Buddy Kofoid 4th, Jason McDougall 5th, Tanner Thorson 6th, Chris Wyndham, Sam Johnson, Brenham Crouch, and KTJ. Your top 10, 9.4 to 9.5 was the top 10. Grant, Beeson, Pursley, and Thomas, and Berryhill were your top 15. T-Mez walking over, getting ready to tell Christy Bemis how he did it here at Port City. So let's go down and check in with Christy and your Fathead's Eyewear quick time winner, T-Mez, Thomas Meserol.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's been excited since he got out of his race car. Thomas Meserol, your Fathead's Eyewear fast time qualifier, here tonight for night number 1 of T-Town Showdown. T-Mez, you have been on a hot streak in the 7X. Last time we had the Midgets out, you won, but this plays quite a bit different than Bubba Raceway Park.
You know, we weren't the fastest car the last couple, today and then yesterday, but the car felt really good today. And I told Donnie, I think it's where we need it to be. Track kind of came to us. Just stoked to be here. The weather's not looking that great, but at least you at home, you guys are watching and you're not getting wet. I got my helmet here, my nice brand new belt. I'm trying to keep water from the tear-off region, but yeah, stoked to be here. You know, hope we have another good night.
This is a 1/8 mile racetrack, especially when it's juiced up in a wet night like tonight. Is it a little bit more physically demanding on you as a driver?
No, not at all. You know what I told my guys in the beginning of the week, you know, the worst part about this thing is I want to put my foot to the floor, and I'm really not going to be able to, you know, so going to just try to be patient and pluck my way to the feature, you know.
Tanner Thorson's photobombing your interview here, so we're going to wrap things up. That's Thomas Meserol, your Fatheads Eyewear Fast Time Qualifier here tonight at Port City Raceway.
Thanks so much, Christy. And I'll tell you what, man, Thomas Meserol is one of the many reasons I love this. And just as much as I love Thomas Meserol, I hate tornado warnings. And I believe that's what we have just been issued here in Tulsa County, in which Tulsa, Oklahoma is. Shot right there from a very brave cameraman, Dean Mills. He will risk his life for the views and for the content. And that is a shot over turns 1 and 2 here in Tulsa. And a tornado warning has just been issued for Tulsa County. It's Oklahoma. It's kind of what they're known for, are tornadoes. So qualifying is done. Draft means you have a few minutes